Join me virtually as I travel solo, like a local, and affordably with a week passport.
Who are you? Who is behind Jattractions?
Jattractions. Who is behind Jattractions? The person behind Jattractions is Yara Dennis.
Oh,
Yara Dennis was born in Westmoreland, Jamaica. She grew up in Manchester, Jamaica, and is currently living in Kingston, Jamaica. I am the first of 4 children. Have 2 brothers and a sister. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dennis, currently living in Manchester at the moment. And yeah, I am on this quest of traveling to every country in the world.
that's a very interesting journey to take. What was the inspiration?
Uh, the inspiration, in order to tell you about the inspiration, I have to go all the way back to 7 or 8 years old. I think I probably was in grade 3 or grade 2 or grade 3, and my mother bought me an atlas. And I remember when I saw the atlas, at first I was very fascinated with Jamaica, but I saw that there was way more. Like there was this whole map, and they had country there, they had country there, they were speaking this language, the national tree is this. To this day I know what Bahamas, the flying fish significance to Bahamas. I knew the country colors. I knew I was so fascinated that there were people who were living on the planet in other areas of the country. It was of the world, I should say. I was so fascinated with it, and I wanted to see everything. It's like I wanted to go everywhere, and I didn't know if it was possible. I mean, that was my inspiration back then. I remember I used to fantasize. I used to look up that my aunt had this stairs that I used to lie down on Sundays, and I would look up in the sky, and I would just kind of imagine me going wherever. I didn't know if it was up or across, but I wanted to say, I was like, can you believe like there is a world out there where people are living in a different way, a different country, all of that. It was so fascinating to me. And from there, I think I was around 12 when I made a list of all the countries or cities at the time I said I wanted to go to, because at some places I didn't know that they were cities in the same country. So I was saying, okay, I want to go to New York, I want to go to Las Vegas, and I didn't understand that all of these were in the same country. So having the atlas, I kind of understood, okay, there is that. And then my dad was living in the Cayman Islands at the time, so I was like, okay, that's a whole different country. I was like, okay, I want to do all of the countries. So that's where it all came from.
That's a very interesting passion that you do have there, right? What do you hope to get from this experience of traveling to all these countries?
Yeah, what I hope to get from all these countries, I hope to eat a lot of food.
That's it.
I hope to learn a lot about their languages, their cultures, their way of living.
Ooh.
I know that people value different things. They place value on different things, and based on my experience so far, I found out that the people from this country might value things here, and another country might have something completely different. I want to see how I can just learn from all of these people and figure out how I can also not just live a simpler life, but be more happier with just wanting less. And I know that there are so many people in this world who are different from me and different from my way of living, and I see how I can learn from them and potentially figuring out life, because I feel like so many people are living and they're figuring out life and they're doing it for less. They're, they are seeing the joy of just being able to walk around freely and just being able to move and not be stressed about, oh, I need to go to work from Monday to Friday. and hating Mondays. Like, there are people who are living, they have absolutely no money at all, and they're the happiest people in the world. I want to find all those people. I want to make sure that you know that they're out there and that you can experience it too.
We know that you had the goal to be achieved of traveling to all these countries by 2024, right? Now, considering that you're pivoting, how long do you believe this goal will take? And do you plan to do it alone?
That's a very interesting question. Because your girl was very ambitious, okay? I was saying, yeah, we're gonna do this in 2024. I mean, I know there were 190 countries, but for some strange reason, I just thought that everything was gonna run smooth. Mark you, I was trying to do this during COVID. And I was trying to do as much as I can during the time I had. And I was thinking I could knock out everything in 2024, but as you can see, we're in 2025 and I'm just at, I don't even know how many countries right now. I'll tell you in a bit. But honestly, I don't know how long it's going to take. I need so many visas, and I'm doing it with just my Jamaican passport. I have absolutely no clue, but we're gonna figure it out. In terms of traveling alone, for the year that I went away to travel to all these countries, I tried to travel alone. I did it alone to 18 countries. I cried in every country. I am not even joking. I cried in every country. Joy, frustration, loneliness, I experienced everything. There are some things that I really enjoyed doing alone because I didn't want to be bothered with this person saying, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that. But then there are other experiences or other attractions that I was like, you know what, this would really be good with crowd. So I am open to the idea of traveling some of the countries or some of the cities with crowd, with people, with you. We'll see about that.
Considering that you've been to 18 countries, what would you say are some of the main challenges that you faced?
It's been rough. I'm not going to lie. Just traveling with a Jamaican passport has been a roller coaster of emotions. You have some countries that is no brainer, like you have Argentina, for example. They didn't even ask me a question. They just stamped the book and just sent me on my way. Uruguay was the same thing. But you had some countries where they were not so sure that a Jamaican could afford the trip. They were not so sure that someone from a third world country, was smart enough to pull this off. They would ask me questions like, what do you do for a living? How much money do you make? Can you fund the trip? Do you have a return ticket? And it's funny that some people would ask me, even though there was one particular country that I didn't need a visa for, that was asking me for a US visa. And I was like, ma'am, it doesn't require a US visa. Why are you asking me for a US visa? But nevertheless, I smile on my face, handed my visa, and I was on my way. But it really has been a challenge because of the biases I've experienced with immigration officers. I've also been checked for so many things. I've been asked questions like, are you traveling with sugarcane? Do you have Aki and Sawfish traveling with? Excuse me. So yeah, it's been. Can you run? Do you know Usain Bolt? I've been asked so many questions that beyond this point, it's like comedy. It really has been like comedy.
Very interesting, considering that you have faced these challenges and the goal itself is a great feat. What will happen if you don't accomplish the goal?
That's a very tough question. I'm so optimistic that that didn't even cross my mind. But in the event I don't achieve this goal, and I'm thinking about it now, and I know that it is possible that I might not achieve this goal, mainly because of some of the countries that have currently an emotional breakdown right now. And you know those countries, you know what I'm talking about. They know themselves. But those countries I might put off, for a bit until things settle down in those countries. If I don't achieve that goal, I think I would be okay with those countries. And if I'm not able to achieve that goal, I think I would be okay with knowing that I tried everything that I could. Even though I wouldn't have gone to some of the countries, or I don't get to go to some of those countries, I still would have gained a whole vast of information that I could share with you guys. And I'm pretty sure that what I've done so far is going to be helpful to you in some way. But even if I don't get to do everything, I know that I would have garnered a lot of information and a lot of experience from the ones I've been to.
On the contrary, what would you say would be the outcome after you've achieved this goal? How do you envision it?
How do I envision it? I want a big party. I want a big celebration. First of all, and I'm putting it out here, and I hope the Ministry of Tourism is listening, because I want to have a celebration at the National Arena. I'm putting it out there. And I want the Ministry of Tourism to be there to open the ceremony. I want all the tour guides. I want the travel agencies, the travel transportation companies, everybody in the tourism industry to have a booth at this grand celebration to say, oh, we did this. There is a Jamaican here with just a Jamaican passport all the way from country that did this. And I want Jamaicans, women, Jamaican citizens, people who don't really have that much money. Listen, you don't have to be rich. I'm not rich. I hope I'm rich from this experience.
Really?
But I'm not rich. I'm figuring this out as I go along. I don't know how much it's gonna cost me. I know it's a lot of money. But I want people to know, this is possible. All these countries, all these passport privileges, regardless of the issues or the situation that we are in, until we get to the point where we have more value to trade with these companies, to these countries, and can increase our passport privilege as well. We're not doing so well with them, honestly. But until we get to that point, I want you to know that even though we might have challenges, this is possible. I want to share my experience. I want to show. I know that there's an issue right now with having access to information to some embassies. We don't have all the embassies in Jamaica. For some of those embassies, you have to travel to another country to get into the country of another country. Some of the countries, you need a visa to the country to get to that embassy. You could get to another country to get a visa. It is ridiculous. But I want to go through this process, be the guinea pig, and go through all of those struggles so that you don't have to. I want to share all of this information that I have you know, I've gotten and I've gathered, and to make it freely for you, the people, my subscribers, everybody, my friends, everybody who wants information, to make sure that your experience is not as challenging as mine.
Having this great goal once more, how do you plan to get this done?
Lord, may I tell you, I don't know. I hope to do as much as I can, put some money aside, strategically plan for this thing to make sure it is financially not gonna, drain me in the process. But at the same time, I am planning to learn from other travelers who've done it before. We actually have a Jamaican who has been to every country in the world. The only difference is he had the access of a US passport, so things were a little less challenging for him. But I'm sure he mentioned that there were some countries that he was able to visit with just a Jamaican passport, just because of the relationship with the country and all of that. So I'm hoping to learn from other travelers who've done it before, like a particular country, and say, okay, how did you do this? So I'm looking to use my knowledge, do some research, check out, find out information from other travelers as well, and also getting the help from you guys in whatever way that you can. Honestly, I don't know. We're going to figure it out along the way.
On this journey of 198 countries, it's going to be a long one.
Very long one.
How can persons support you on this journey?
How can people support me? I would say in whatever way you can, watch the videos, follow me on my journey. Maybe if you've been to a country before that you think is a little bit challenging, share that information, pass it along my way, because I'm gonna need help. Those countries, because right now I'm struggling to find out how to get into Paraguay. So if you've been to some countries already that you use or make a passport to get into, send it my way, and in whatever way that you can. I don't really know, but for now it's just watching the video, follow me on the journey, and if you have any advice along the way, also help me, just help me figure this out.
Well, I must say, Jattractions, Yara,
Yara,
we are all here to see you accomplish this goal. And of course, keep in mind to keep us updated.
I will do my best, because I've disappeared, so I'll work on being more consistent.
And of course, safe travels.
Thank you.
Journey to 198 countries.
Thank you. I'm about to do my hair, girlfriend. Completed security check in country number 1.
I really like this room. San Pedro in Belize.
Then everything changed and then the crew will come out.
Bienvenidos a Guatemala.
My Spanish teacher is super cool. Walking for almost an hour now. Dead me a dead. I'm here with my friend Sarah from the Philippines. Alright guys, so as usual, I am dying. Let's go. I am in front of the bus beside the driver. I'm on the verge of passing out. I got tested for COVID, and they're moving me out of the hostel to put me in a private room that I cannot afford.